Hello miners, crafters, and Minecrafters, and welcome back to episode 25 of the Ultra Hardcore Survival Let's Play series. So, as some of you may know, and hopefully probably all of you know, I do not record my videos the day before they come out. I record them like probably a week before, and so now I remember this is something that I never really told anyone or never say ever. Last episode I asked for a name for the dog. I can't draw that name this episode because I'm recording this like the day after that video came out, so I don't really have many responses, so I'm gonna wait. Next episode is when we're gonna do the drawing for the dog. Any names are not going to be revealed the episode immediately after, or in most, if not all cases. I just realized I should have been using the bottles to grab that, not the shears, because we need honey. We have no honey, and this is the infinitely superior block. Speaking of honey, we're gonna be messing around with sticky blocks today. But before I do that, I got a comment, yes, it's in my hand, from Mr. Yascuerda. Road signs on the path. Now, I'm assuming that means they want me to place road signs on the path, which I think is a great idea. I have a couple signs here and there, but they have nothing to do with the locations of anything. And so it would be a really good idea. It would be a great idea, actually. This is actually one, but this is one of the things from way back is things saying like I need to do the path to Dwayne's house. That doesn't need to be there anymore. In fact, that's the old spelling of Dwayne with the U in there, or the UH in there. I don't think it has either of those now. But signs saying this way is Dwayne's house, this way is the tree farm, over there is the fisherman's house and the other's house, and over there, just stuff like that, I think would be a whole lot nicer than this that is also legacy sign that doesn't need to be there. I have a bunch of old junk laying around that I need to fix out. Like this one. Deal with front patio? No. And of course the loads of signs over here that have been here for absolutely ever, but I don't think I've actually done any of these. I don't think I've actually made any of these yet. I mean, they're still on the list to be made. They're still there. So we have now gone through and we have added a bunch of these signs that just kind of point off in some directions. I wasn't quite sure what it all really needed to be marked off. I mean, I marked off as much as I could and as much as I remembered and thought about. But yeah, there's a couple of these all over the place. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. Pointing you. You should be able to look at these and just get everywhere you would need to go. Bees, I want to go here. Unfortunately, if I'm like over here and I want to go to the enchantment table, it's not going to tell me how to get there. But it should help a little bit, I hope. So, as I mentioned sometime during the last episode, I believe it was, I was going to go through and I was going to mine up some, what is this, blackstone? I did. I got loads of blackstone. This should carry me for a long time. I don't want to have to go back and mine more of this. It takes so long to get my hands on, but we have it. And in the theme of working on this tunnel this episode, I have a little thing that I need to show y'all. I've been working on this. I put many hours in this. So, here we are back in my little testing world. You might recognize a couple of these things here, but I was going through and doing a bunch of tests to see what I could possibly do to be able to make my switching rail system. But we're going to start at the beginning before I get over there. So my first thought was if I could detect a signal coming from it. That wasn't the button I was supposed to click, but if and only if I have pistons in this minecart, I will get a signal. Nothing else will give me a signal. Only pistons. So I'm able to make some sort of like a ticketing system for each junction in the rail center. We can skip that. Over here, we have the build right here. So we can dispense, oops. The minecart that we're going to ride in goes here. And then right here dispenses the chest minecart. And then here is where we give it a ticket. So let's say I want to travel down to this cactus right here and break. We give it the piston. That loads the piston into the minecart. There we go. And then if we hop in here and send it, it'll send us in this direction. Without that there, it will go straight because it doesn't have the ticket to go off in this direction. It goes all the way down to the end. Now let's say instead we want to go off down this path. We give it the, what was this guy called again? A soul lantern. We put a soul lantern in it and it will continue and travel off down onto this path. And so that is this system right here. And then we move on to this system here that I've made. And I realized that I can have this go in 3 different directions, and unfortunately that's the best I can do. I could not find really any elegant solution to make it travel off in this direction, mainly because it'll be a hard thing to work around, but a bigger problem, you can't actually do 4-way junctions as far as I know, just like this in vanilla Minecraft. But, so we load the marker, oops, there wasn't supposed to be 2, and then we put the ticket here, piston ticket, this one will make it go off in this direction. And then from here, we can give it another ticket to make it go back down to the main section. It travels this way. And then if we want it to go straight, we can just send it without it and it goes straight on. And essentially, we can use this system to go to any one of the 3 sections. And so this will be the main, like, brain of the whole system, is this section right here. Every single time I make an intersection, I'll have to build this little chunk right here, and that will send the minecart in whichever direction it's supposed to go to. And then some other things I'm working on, because I'm not building this episode, it's not built yet, is a solution to, and I believe this is going to be it, organize the minecarts. So this one will actually, here, I'll use the chest minecart for it. This one right here will be the chest minecart. So if I sit it in right here, chest minecart will go to the left. And then the one that we're writing in, because this will always be behind the chest minecart, this isn't the best solution, but it gets where it needs to go. It filters that out and puts it where it's supposed to be. And then the last and final thing, as you saw over here, I have soul lanterns and I have the pistons and stuff. If in the instance that there is a turn here and then the soul lantern track right here, I need to be able to tell it to put both the soul lantern and the piston, or just the piston, or just the soul lantern. So I need to come up with a system to be able to organize the actual, like, ticket building system. And so I have to put that, combine that with it, and then once we have all of that together, we'll finally be ready to build the entire rest of the Nether minecart system. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing of an explanation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue what I've been doing, building out the path as is, and then, I mean, you can see where I'm going with the rail system. We're going to have to build some kind of, like, big room over here to be able to support the sending and then receiving of everything. And we're going to have to do that at every stop. We're going to have to build a system with a knowledge of which direction to turn at each path to get to each destination from each endpoint. So it'll be a very big and convoluted project, but I want to use rail in the Nether. I think that will be, I never use rail and I want to use them. So that's the plan here. So that is the recap. We can now get on to the stuff that I want to do today, and that has to do with over here. It has been a long time since we touched the slime farm, and now I think it is finally time that we get around to it. Reason being, now that we've finished conquering the end and we're starting to build machines and stuff, we're gonna need a whole lot more slime than we have been living on previously. And the reason I haven't kind of been boring this out at all is because I've been waiting to get a whole lot more gunpowder. Yo! Where did you come from? What's up, buddy? I thought you were gone. You wait here for a second. Don't go down there. I'll get you on the way back up. What was I talking about? Oh, well, I don't remember. It's not important. What I do want to see is if this has generated any slime. I have very low hopes. I don't think this is possible. Wait, was that in here last time I checked? I don't remember if that was in here. Does this design actually do something? That's incredible. My mind has been blown. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy to save you guys, so you will get absolutely carpet bombed out of here later on in the episode. So here's the deal. I don't exactly remember how these were supposed to be built and the spacing and everything, so I'm going to go back to the world that we were just in, my little testing world, figure out the spacing again, and I'm going to fill in as much of this area as I can with these machines. I think I should have enough gunpowder to fill in everything and then just bore out the entire 4 chunks right now. Hopefully that'll happen. So I'm going to cut to whenever I have as many of these built as I can, and we'll see how it goes. Welcome back, and as you can see, we are quite a bit into the future. We're on day 1086 now, and we're about to be on 1087 after the sun sets. But we did not have enough gunpowder. I went and got more, but now we do, and we are fully kitted out. We've got everything built. I went through, I made a couple changes. We are going to be using a lever this time because it was the button that was sending 2 pulses. A lever will only send 1 pulse. So I'm going to sleep here, and we're gonna get up there, and we're going to give this a shot. And what we're either going to see is we're going to see a whole lot of tears because this took a long time. This took multiple hours. I might as well have just mined this out by hand. But this has to be faster. There's no way mining this out manually will be faster. But we are going to launch it, and we're going to hope that nothing bad happens. We're going to do it nice and carefully. Let's see. Let's water in the offhand just in case the worst happens. I have a giant pit right here that if that gets blown out, it's going to drop me far enough to die. Let's go. Oh, shifting. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And everything should be fine. Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to time lapse this till it's all the way down, and I'll be back whenever we are nice and bored out. That could not have gone any better. Look at this massive hole we've dug out. That is so much progress. That is a ridiculous amount of progress. There is still a ton I need to figure out how to like get from location to location to clean up, but it is incredible. And look at that. We have already got more slime spawns than I think we've actually seen in this location at all. And this dude, he lived. I carpet bombed the absolute heck out of their house, and he actually made it out alive. Unfortunately, the other two met a fate, I would say worse than death, but I think it is probably quite very comparable to death, which is, I would say better than worse than death. So now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, because we're not using the fancy like slime block duper destroyers, I get to tear this entire machine down and move it down there so that we can keep going. Let's check the F3 menu. This went from, what is this, 63 down to, we'll call that -7. So that's about 60 blocks. We'll call that about 60 blocks. So from 6 all the way down to, where's the bottom at? We might not make it all the way. We might have to finish it out by hand, but that's fine. That is a whole lot better than doing the whole thing manually. So I get to tear this whole thing down and move it down here. I'm probably going to do like a little bit of cleanup too. So I'll cut back once we've had this built again, and maybe, just maybe, on the second time around, this whole thing is going to blow up and it will kill me. Maybe that's what happens, you know? We never know. So I'll be there to show y'all what goes on whenever I launch this the second time. So let's cut to the future again. Check us out. We went absolutely crazy this time. I don't know if this was faster or shorter than the last time. It felt so much faster. This was a breeze. I breezed through the second time. So now, moment of truth. Let's see if it actually works. I would hope not to have it blow up as I did the last one. Oh, how perfect and beautiful is this. Everything went exactly as planned. All right, time for the next time lapse. Here we go. Take a look at how smooth that went. No issues. I'm just gonna have to clean this out. That's fine. That's just a result of the way the cliff face was right here. Absolutely beautiful. So now, unfortunately, as you know, these were explosions. The walls are very messy, and I believe it didn't go as far out as I wanted it to. I mean, I planned this out very meticulously so that it would break these walls almost exactly as it did. I need to come through and tear out all of right here all the way down. I need to tear this wall out right here all the way down, just so that whenever I start to decorate this area, I have some space in the walls to place blocks. Well, it looks like now I just gotta do a whole lot of digging. Despite the fact that we've dug out 4 chunks out here, which, to be honest, it looks freaking beautiful. But yeah, we're gonna do that now. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. This has been a lot of effort in this episode. Check this out. We're on day 1100. Ain't that cool? I need to go write my diary entry. Everybody, check. Oh, thank you very much, Ray. And this is exactly what I was looking for in this clip. No, not at all. Go away. Check this out. This looks like nothing else we have in this world. This is freaking insane. This is so cool. I love this so much. And I was just checking at the end of the last recording just to see how I ended it off. And I noticed that I point out the day counter, 1,100. It is 1,132. At 20 minutes per day, that makes it 640 days, which is like, it's over 6 hours to clean this out. I'm not doing flush walls anymore. In the future, we are doing crusty, musty, yucky, disgusting explosion walls, and we are just going to cover them up with the facade, and there's going to be a gap in between. This took so incredibly long, and you're not going to see any of this flat work at all. We have to go through, and we're going to put in a whole lot of green concrete powder that I had, unfortunately, forgot to bring with me. No concrete powder in my inventory. Hold on. So, here is the deal. I have got us an absolute ton of lime green concrete. I thought that was supposed to be lime green. Lime concrete powder. Now, it might look a little bit nasty just having the walls all covered in one color, just one flat color all the way, especially with the untextured, like, concrete. But there's only 2, like, green concrete colors, and so I'm not really much of a fan of like a 2-color kind of like scattered pattern, so we're just going to go with 1 color. I think 1 color looks better than 2 color, but 3 colors would be ideal, and unfortunately we don't really have a third that I can just drop from the top down there and have it mix in well. Speaking from drop from the top, there is something that I want to mention, and there is an unfortunate little news. Just placed another shulker box, oops. If I open this right here, we are down another totem, because unfortunately, and I believe this is patched in the next update, the one that I was going to. So I jumped from the top all the way down to the bottom, all the way down there. And what I was going to do is I was going to clutch on the... God, I hate the way these work so much. I am not using them anymore. I used them in the tearing down and like cleaning it of everything. They had to have made this a longer process. But my plan was to jump off the side and clutch on the side like that and take no fall damage, right? Something I didn't know was that if you're right on the edge, and this is a bug that's been in Minecraft for a while, instead of taking the qualities of this block, as you can see on that edge right here, I'm more on this block than I am on this block. The game actually thinks I'm standing on the grass, which is why we're not climbing up this like ladders like you normally do. And so I landed right on that spot after falling all the way down, and it didn't catch me like you would a ladder. Instead, it caught me like it would just land on the block, which is quite unfortunate. I'm not positive if it's fixed in the next version, but I know that bug that I mentioned was fixed in the next version. So yeah, really glad we have these totems. We're gonna need to build the raid farm soon with the thing over there that spawns the things that drop these. We're gonna need that because we're running out of these pretty quickly. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to place in as much concrete powder as I can. I'm not quite sure if I have enough. I really don't think I do. If I have enough to fill it all in, then we're going to call it good and we're going to continue with the rest of this project. But I used all of our cactus, everything that our little farm over there has made. And so if we don't have enough, we're going to pivot from here to a big cactus farm. And that's going to be the next farm we work on while we sit and let this wait again like we did the last time. So let's get these concrete powders in. Well, we might have a little bit of an issue, maybe. That's all I was able to get done. This is insane how much stuff this takes. That's insane. I'm pretty sure I used up like all of my gravel. Actually, no, I'm gonna check. I might have a little bit more at home. Let me take a look. Okay, it's not all of my gravel. I still have, what is that, 9, 18, 27. I don't know how to count by nines past that. That much gravel, which is, I want to say like 1/5 or maybe 1/6 of all the gravel that I've been saving up. So we are still short like a ton of gravel. That's going to take a long time to get. The cactus most certainly is going to take a while. That's going to be a later thing. Sand, I can get that pretty quick. But yep, that project, unfortunately, oh my gosh, look at that object over there. That's going to be held off till another episode. Maybe next episode, if I get this stuff by then. I'd like to get that done sometime soon. But now we've got to move on to something different because we can't be working on that anymore. And in fact, unfortunately, I don't really think I have that much more time left today to record. It's Friday. That project took me, or that slime project took me all week. But I'm going to finish this off now, working on this like I said I would last episode and at the beginning of this episode. Holy cow, what is going on here? That was an absolute hostile mob party. What was I saying? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna finish off as much of this as I can with all of this blackstone that we have, and hopefully I can knock off all of them by the time I run out of time, but if I don't, it's whatever. Yep, we're gonna go till I'm out of time, and then we're gonna end the episode off. Excellent work on the path here today. In fact, such great work that we've actually finished this path all the way down to the very end. It now goes as far that way as we need it, so now we can actually start work on this direction. And I have made a whole lot of work. It is dug out all the way. We've got the bottom and the top in, which means it is just smooth sailing until we get to the very end. I have gotten a whole lot better at building these. I'm so much quicker, which is great because in the amount of time that it took us to actually get this or start working on this path here that we've been waiting on for so long. Let's see if I can fly over here fast enough. If I even remember where it is, it's over here somewhere. Right at the end of where I'm loading in. That is correct, folks. We have a whole nother path that we need to put together, and this one's the one that goes back to spawn. So, you know, never gonna end this project. We've always got stuff that we need to do, but that's alright because content's good. Always having stuff to do is a whole lot better than never having stuff to do. That's how we keep playing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to finish this episode off with a little bit more progress done to the subtunnel. Beautifully excellent work done here. You know, there's not too much to say other than we're just down to more gray, and then less gray, and then back to more gray, but also less gray when viewed from like this angle. It is what it is. Time to thank subscribers. Yep, today we may be in a little bit of trouble. We have some difficult ones today that I'm probably going to get the pronunciation wrong. So, we have Picky. Wait a second, I didn't even finish decorating these. Hold on. Okay, much better. I got distracted. Y'all almost got left half clothed. All right. Picky, maybe Pikey. I don't know. It could be pronounced that way. We have Kwantai or Shuantai. I'm not quite sure. Or Shuan. Because I get the long sound. All right. We have Person Man Man, Kikaleu, Candlelight, Leo Pesket, and Elena or Alana. Thank you guys very much. And with that, I believe it leads us to the end of our episode today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe. And if you choose to subscribe, and if you want to show up in this tunnel, these are all of my subscribers that have told me that they've subscribed. If you want to show up in this tunnel, please drop it in the comments that you subscribed so I can know to put you in here. I hope every one of you has a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.